About 2 weeks ago, I actually posted a video on this channel saying I'm pretty much over living in Eastern Europe. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kyle Mao. I've been living out here for 10 years. I'm an entrepreneur. I founded 3 companies, all of which have hit the 7-figure mark. One of them about to hit the 8-figure mark. That's beside the point. Some of you have followed me for a lot of years since I had my original dating blog, This Is Trouble. Many of you, even though the YouTube is small, have seen that was my home. Like, I've really been married to this region since I was like 24 years old, and really was I made a whole life out of it. My first business was built around it. My second business was an olive oil company out of Croatia, again built in the region. The third business, Hire UA staffing agency, started in Ukraine. So much of my life, married to a Ukrainian woman, has been based on Eastern Europe, and it's finally time for that chapter to close. So I posted that video a couple weeks ago and explained the reasons why I was kind of over living it. Kind of came down to really just bureaucracy, the weather. Those are probably the 2 biggest ones. Like, if it looked like this every day, I'd probably never leave, to be honest, but it doesn't. It doesn't look like this for 80% of the year. So my family did just get approved this last week for our digital nomad visas in Portugal. So we are going to be leaving Eastern Europe permanently and starting a new life in Portugal, where it's a little bit warmer. I considered a few places. We thought about going back to the US. We thought about Florida. We thought about maybe living in Dubai. I'm completely location independent. I can work wherever I need to. We can live wherever we want to. But it really came down to a couple of things. So let's talk first about the US. So no US, because there's just not many options. Like, it's just Florida is all that we really considered. So where is low tax enough, and where is not politically just kind of cuckoo? And I'm from California, and I would love to be in California, living in San Diego, obviously, but I'm not willing to pay 38% tax. I'm not willing to deal with the politics of that state. It's just not what I'm willing to do. So that really kind of was a disqualifier right there for California. And then Florida, the big thing was, I kept running the math like this. Like, if we buy a house, which we'd buy a house, what is the likeliness over the course of the rest of my lifetime that something doesn't happen to it? Like, as far as a hurricane or some sort of natural disaster. And the odds were it's not, it's not 100%, but it's also not low, to be honest. And I think I've now lived through escaping a war in Ukraine. I don't have a desire to every summer be wondering if my house is going to get blown over by a storm or a hurricane. I don't want to have to be packing up and leaving. It's just not something I want to go through. And then the other thing, and I know this is totally fear mongering, I know it's the news, but man, every time I go back to the States, I swear I walk in somewhere and on the TV is a school shooting. And I'm just I don't even want that to register in my mind. I really don't. I just want my kid to be safe, obviously. So that was another thing. I'm just Florida weather in the summer is not a piece of cake either. I mean, that's the extreme opposite of it. I don't really like 100 degrees, 100% humidity either. So Florida, I would have friends there, decent for business, tax-wise for sure, but hurricanes and just the general insanity of America, I just wasn't about it, really. And then Dubai, I would have probably considered Dubai, although those summers are brutal as well. But we did visit once, and my wife was just we have a daughter. We are, my wife is from Ukraine, so she looks very white, obviously, as does my daughter. She's just I just don't really feel that comfortable here, which is fair, right? So that threw that out. So, at the end of the day, how many places in the world have perfect weather, good politics, low taxes? The number's pretty slim if you really start to think about it. So basically, that was the call, and this has been a long time in progress. So we took our first trip to Portugal in February of 2025. It's April 2026 now. So took our first trip there over a year ago. We went back last summer and then started the process from there, which is a fairly lengthy process. It's not, I don't want to say it's difficult to get that visa, but it does require you to compile a lot of stuff, and our situation is more complex because we are currently in Poland, and my wife is from Ukraine, and we've been waiting for residence cards in Poland for so long that we couldn't all apply together. Long story short, I won't get into all that, but difficult. So, hard to even get the appointments. I know that some people are struggling just to get any appointment for a Portuguese visa at their home consulate in the States. So we feel you know, lucky that we were able to get it, lucky we got approved. So yeah, the countdown is starting. I am actually going to document all of this on a separate channel called Life in PT, because I feel like it's really valuable to see this. Like I'm gonna like live blog it, like these videos, like here's what I'm dealing with today. The countdown is 89 days. Here's specifically what I'm dealing with for this move today. And I think that's some of the most valuable content for people looking to move and live abroad, is being able to just see a real